We do have a guest with us who won his game. Oh, that's the game I actually have. Daniel Dardha, congratulations on your win.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it looks like you had a very smooth victory. Please take us through the game.
Okay, c4, c5. I checked a couple of things, but here after e3, he played bishop g7. I mainly checked positions after knight f6, d4, takes, d5. And here, you have a completely different game. But he kind of went for a different move order. He went bishop g7, which allowed me to go d4. Straight away, grab the center, takes. And here he played knight f6. So if I were to go knight f3 now, black could go d5, and you get a very big line that I hadn't really checked before the game. So I was trying to make use out of the fact that he went for a different move order, and he doesn't get d5 straight away. So I went d5 myself here. It made some sense to me during the game. Here he went castle, knight f3, and d6. But during the game, to be honest, I was thinking, I was more, not really scared, but I was thinking he should have gone for e6 instantly.
Instead of d6?
Yes, because that didn't give me the option that I had in the game. So in the game, he went d6 basically. He went d6 with black, yeah. I played bishop e2 and he went e6. Well, after castle, he would take d5, let's say, and after c takes d5, we would get some symmetrical position. Like castle, ed, cd, and the position is quite balanced.
Right.
And this is what he was aiming for. But he gave me the option that I could take d takes e6 now.
Okay, and your point is if he goes e6 here and you take, you can just take
yeah,
this
exactly.
way.
And now knight c6, and black has a very nice center.
Right.
So, yeah, I assume that he was afraid that I would push d6 myself.
Yeah, that was going to be
After
my
e6.
next question. These arrows. Okay, so d6.
Yeah, but maybe he has some strange ideas, like maybe even like queen somewhere, queen a5 or queen b6, but also exactly, yeah, or b6 immediately and bishop b7 and develop his pieces straight away. And it's not clear to me whether my pawn on d6 is such a strength or a liability. Like it can be targeted in the future, I think.
Yeah, it's really hard to determine these things.
Yes.
So you decided, but okay, so he didn't give you this
yeah,
option to worry about, so you went
exactly,
e6.
He went e6. I used quite some time, but at the end I went for d takes e6 actually, because I think it's, well, the position that I got in the game looked very pleasant to me after bishop takes, knight d4. Important move because castles, black has the option to play d5, and he gets rid of his weakness. So I went knight d4.
Knight d4.
He went rook e8. Yeah, probably a good move because if you were to go knight c6, I would take the bishop and then castle. And black has these hanging pawns, which looks a bit weak and strange also because white has the bishop pair. So rook e8, I castled first, knight c6, and I took the bishop. Rook takes. And
but this is also quite nice for you, right? With the bishop pair.
Yeah, I thought during the game, well, I underestimated his position a little bit because I thought during the game I have the bishop pair, I have the better pawn structure also, but his pieces can get quite active quickly actually. As in the game I played bishop g5, let's say, which I was not so happy about.
Why not?
Because, well, in the game he played h6, but actually I was a bit more afraid of queen a5 here, which I hadn't really checked too well. Yeah, so queen d2 was it's like a normal move, let's say, but knight e4 was the problem. And after knight takes e4, queen takes d2 is the move that I missed, and I cannot take with the knight because rook takes e2.
So you don't have a good way of capturing.
And bishop takes d2, there's rook takes e4, and problem is I cannot go to d3 to defend the c4 pawn because rook d4 and pin.
That's unfortunate actually.
Yeah, very, yeah, but yeah, queen a5 was a bit an annoying way to kind of discoordinate my pieces somehow.
Do you have to go back maybe?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. This also, when we spoke after the game, he said that bishop d2 was the move that he didn't really like. But still, maybe you can make some move like
queen d8 and
well, I don't know if repeat. You can go to a better square, maybe
like
like
maybe?
b6, and then you need to calculate options like knight d5 also, of course. But still, like bishop d2 was not really a move that I was.
Something like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, it's getting very sharp.
Yeah, and this is not something I wanted to calculate because it looks like I have a very nice positional advantage, bishops and.
So why not just bishop e3 then?
Yeah, in hindsight, I would have played this. But actually, it was nice in the game because he went h6, and now I went to e3, and somehow the h6 pawn is like I can go queen d2 with tempo, let's say, and the pawn is a bit weak.
Actually, you ended up winning this pawn at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so bishop g5.
I got some use out of it.
So knight e4.
Yeah, knight e4. Well, good move, of course. If I were to take on e4 and rook takes e4, I don't really know like what my plan is here. Like, how do I put my pieces? Because if queen d2, then queen h4 and some rook e8, some knight d4 someday, it can get a bit annoying.
I just piece play.
He can get even some attack at some point, and my pieces are not they're a bit cramped up, and I cannot move very freely. So knight d5 was a kind of an attempt to, well, just say I have a strong knight and I keep some pieces on the board. He took b2, which I thought was not a good move actually. I was happy to see this. I was more I think he should have made maybe some queen move here. Well, I thought so during the game, like queen a5 for example, and I don't really know what to do. It's hard to find a good move for me.
So your pawn is. Oh, maybe is it?
Well, it's
no,
not really
hanging,
necessarily
yeah.
hanging, but like he can just go rook e8 with the other rook, and like in worst case go back with a queen, and he has like all his pieces are perfectly placed. And I don't really know what to play because queen c2. If I were to go somewhere, then knight d4 is always an issue.
Yeah, you don't want to give up one of your bishops.
Exactly, I don't want to give up, especially my dark squared bishop. Yeah, so maybe this was something to think about. If I were to go rook b1, let's say, then maybe rook e8, like.
Maybe a3 b4, but a3 he might actually take.
Yeah, exactly. And the rook b1, there's queen takes a3. No, not queen takes a3. Sorry, but then a3 is hanging like later in some lines. For example, knight c3 is somewhere also an option, even like, and I have to calculate already. It's very tough.
Yeah, but the good thing is this h6 pawn hangs in all these lines.
Yeah,
So
somehow I got
this
lucky.
knight c3 hangs. Okay.
Yeah, at any rate, he took b2, rook b1. Here he went back. I was thinking like knight c3. I was calculating actually, because first I thought I was winning instantly with queen d2, but I forgot that he can take e2 with check actually.
Oh, okay.
And okay, position is like nothing special, yeah.
Really? Still feels pleasant for you somehow.
Very, very. But I can also just take c3 and then b7, and I have a bishop pair instead of going into this.
Right.
I can just take c3 and b7.
With a tempo.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can even choose which one I take, but I think b7 is better.
Just to break apart the pawns and like give so many targets in the position.
Black exchanged some pieces this way at least. Maybe he can try hanging on, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So instead he went back. And you were happy with this because now you just have the bishop pair and your rook is just
well, he kind of just gave me like easy play because before my pieces were a bit cramped up, and he was playing with activity, knight e4, opening the diagonal of his bishop. But now he activated my rook actually, so all my pieces are kind of doing something and coordinating. And here he played rook b8. Well, the thing is, I would like to play rook c7 here, but the problem is that it fails tactically due to knight c3. So I have to take, I think, or I don't have to, but I was relying on my next move actually.
Bishop g5, yeah, this is a very nice move.
Forcing black to play f5 and weaken his structure. Because if rook e5, there's bishop f4, and if rook e8, bishop d7. Fork.
Oh, this is very annoying.
And so he has to block with a pawn actually.
Yeah, once your pieces come into a game, they're just too powerful. So you want bishop f3.
I actually calculated instead of bishop f3 also knight f4 and some very complex lines, but black has strong move intermezzo knight c3 now, I think. And some queen f3 stuff, there's knight e5 always, so it's not really working.
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
It's very...
oh, your queen doesn't have a square.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
it's very unfortunate
yeah, h2
that for this knight c3, because otherwise knight f4 is interesting, I think.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay, so bishop f3, king h7.
Queen a4.
So this is all very comfortable for you at this point,
Yeah, knight
right?
e5 is not the best move, I think, also. I thought queen b7 during the game. It gets also... Like, black would like to play knight d4 here, but the problem is I can capture this and queen d7 check, I win the rook.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
So therefore queen b7 was maybe a good idea.
Oh, so
I'm not sure once again, but...
I mean, if you want, we can check. Yeah, queen b7, best move.
After knight e5, it's, well... very easy, I think.
Yeah, because this pawn structure change is just so nice for you.
Yeah, I don't even have to take a7, but...
You know it's bad for your opponent when you don't have to take a free pawn.
Yeah, exactly, but...
Okay, so you took, and I think...
the endgame is not... Okay, he played king h8, best move. Here I went for knight f4. I thought it was better than the computer gives, actually. I thought it was like
Then have a4.
Yeah, well, knight f4 I just played because I saw a concrete tactical variation, as in the game.
Right. But I think this line that you went for, this is...
Well, he had to play knight e5, I think, only chance, but it's still...
knight e5, yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's still like, from a practical point of view, my opponent was also in time trouble, so it's very difficult to defend this, I think. I can just run the a-pawn up the board, and he needs to figure out something smart, like really quickly, which is not easy with limited time on the clock.
Yeah, it's actually hard to see how to stop this pawn. And also, you still have this some knight, right?
Yeah, exactly. I still don't see it, to be honest, but yeah.
Yeah, this
somehow.
bad.
Yeah, and after I cannot take with a rook, of course, because e3. It's a nasty trick, but
yeah,
I can still take with a bishop somehow. But yeah, this is the idea.
No, but this is something.
No reason to go into this.
Yeah, you must be happy about this. I think like this endgame that you got with bishop versus knight, you must have been very happy here.
Yeah, I think it's just completely winning. I played rook c7 somehow to force d5.
Yeah, d5 and
not the most accurate necessarily, but I just didn't want some rook a5 stuff.
Yeah, but with no time for him d5, I think he had to play, and now with the rook disconnected, this is just too strong, right? And I think you
play h3. Yeah, and here he just. I think this is winning basically by force. Like if I calculate it well, bishop e3, controlling d4. Bishop d4. And here I calculated basically until the end of the game almost, because it's all really like. Yeah, his only idea is to try to kick my bishop off and go for d4. But the problem is I have passed pawns on the side of the board from both sides, basically.
Yeah, so
I'll get past h-pawn and past a-pawn, and the knight is very bad against pawns, a or h pawns, basically.
Yeah, knights are kind of useless in this type of endgame. They just
can't really
do anything.
It's from both sides, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now h4, it's
h4,
just...
yeah,
it's
now
over.
it's just... Yeah,
and at the end the knight was...
Even against one pawn, the knight is pretty useless.
The king is just too far away, that's the problem.
I think we saw up until this point, and...
Yeah, I'm winning the knight. Okay.
Yeah, so this is where the game ended.
Bishop f2, king f3.
Yeah,
yes.
Very nice victory by you.
Thank you.
Are you a student in one of the US universities, or...?
I'm not a student.
Oh, you're not a student,
High school student.
Oh, you're a high school student, okay. Are you looking to be recruited to university or no?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll just see how chess goes first, and then we'll see, I guess.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in the rest of your games. We hope to see you back here.
Thanks for having me.